speech will be through time, past, present, and future. David Harder.
My earliest memories are of kindergarten through 3rd grade in West Berkeley. As a pacifist, Dad spanked me for fighting. Naturally, I got picked on until I stood up to a small scrap up the block. Now, my new friends saw our few white neighbors as odd, dangerous, and to be avoided. I was the fortunate exception that got invited over for dinner and to watch TV and go on car rides. That was huge because we didn't have television at home. These experiences informed my working life, where I have worked with engineers born in over 20 different countries. Now back then, my hero was 3 years older. He lived across the street and he had pigeons. How cool was that? In the 3rd grade, when I could run faster, we hopped a freight to the nearby Hostess Cupcake Factory. We climbed over the fence and stuffed ourselves with returns from an unlocked delivery truck. So on the walk back home, I realized travel really was an adventure. So I spent the summer after 6th grade in Costa Rica as the companion for a family friend's younger son. Nothing fancy. We had a shared room in a tin roof bungalow on a research farm in the middle of the country. But I did see real poverty for the first time. I saw houses, shacks really, with no window glass, kids my age with no shoes and their heads shaved for lice. But the highlight of my visit was a trip to the Irasu volcano. We were standing up looking down into the crater when suddenly head-sized rocks started flying out and landing halfway up the slope to where we were. Well, this is not Disneyland. So we got to the bottom, looked back, and saw this huge column of smoke rising miles into the air. The travel really was cool. This is me in high school, members of the Frosh-Soft cross-country team that showed up for the photo. At Cal, engineering was homework in every topic, every week, without fail. My proudest moment was turning a midterm F into a final A-. Now that took some discipline. As a senior, Professor Ben Gerwick taught construction Tuesdays and Thursdays. Why? So he could go to Norway on the weekend and consult on offshore concrete platforms. My light bulb went on. I said, paid travel. Now, I slanted my graduate year towards marine engineering and went to work for a firm in San Francisco that did that. And after 6 months, I accepted my first foreign assignment, 6 weeks in Texas. So, I got back 7 years later, after spending 4 years in London, 5 months in Norway. But, working overseas is a great learning experience, but it's very hard on family life. So I declined a generous offer to go back to Houston. So I lost my first job and ended my first marriage in '86. Since then, I've worked on a variety of fun projects, including the New Orleans flood barrier, my little bits over there, and also home improvement next door. That's not me, but that's a larger project, which you can see. And this is a smaller project with my 2 sons. I remarried then and moved to Walnut Creek, where my 2 sons were born and raised. I was a soccer dad, drove on school field trips, did the shopping, did all the cooking. I did my best to be a family man. Alas, it didn't last. Last year, I married Patricia, the love of my life, and I think our happiness is best shown by these pictures. First marriage, second marriage, third marriage. Questions? So Mom could no longer live by herself in 2009 and moved in with us. 2 years later, after 6 months of 24/7 home care, she had to go to a nursing home. So I continue her physical therapy at home. I bring her home once or twice a week. I'm at 140 visits and counting. So what's next? Toastmasters. After working the summer of 2012 in Copenhagen, I refused the next assignment in Canada because I no longer cared to work away home from family and friends. That ended that job, but no regrets. I love what I do, but ageism is closing the employment door. Moving on, I joined our club because I enjoy your warmth, your enthusiasm, and your love of life. In closing, and this is the campaign promise that will come true now, you are all invited to join friends and family on May 31st for my 30th anniversary pig roast. And to make that real, I'm now passing out your invitations.
Cool.
There will be champagne. That's a promise. So come early, stay late, laissez le bon temps rouler.